Test, 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 test. 10. Volume 20. 25. 30. Test, test, test. We're live? We're live. Welcome to Ponies and a Glass of Bourbon. I'm your host, Dan Kurtzwell. I'm here in a new studio, trying something new this year. We got a video version. We're going live. We're going one take. Whatever happens, happens. So let's start out here. Let's just get right into it. It's called Ponies and a Glass of Bourbon. Let's get the bourbon in there. So there were some concerns. I do want to address this right now. There were some concerns last year about an episode that was released that potentially had a child acting and pretending to drink liquor. There were no children drinking liquor last year. But we're gonna, we take swings on this show. So we're gonna swing one way, kids drinking. Let's swing the other way. This year we're doing a mocktail. We're doing the non-alcoholic mint julep. If there's some recovering addicts or pregnant people, this could be a fun thing for some people to do. So I found a couple different recipes. One is ginger ale with your mint syrup. The other one is lemonade. And I guess we'll try out the ginger ale. Now, we're going with Seagram's here. So I'm a little weary. Yeah, a little too much ginger for me. It's not your Canada Dry. That's top tier. Schweppes makes a good product. Seagram's, I wouldn't put it in the top there. But, that's what they had on sale at the Piggly Wiggly. So that's what we got. So we got our mint julep with ginger ale. That's mint and water. So now I did want to highlight, I wanted to show you how you clap a mint leaf. You do put mint in the syrup, but to get that extra mint flavor, you gotta get a little smack. It gets the aromas coming out, it opens it up. And that's fresh mint. So you stick that in there. And this is the lemonade, Minute Maid, I believe. Again, I want a little light on the mint in my simple syrup, so this really just tastes like lemonade, mint, garnish. So, we need a control, so we've got a little bourbon here. I don't have the bottle on me, but this is a Four Roses, just your everyday standard bourbon. And that, again, that's just bourbon. I don't think this is a good test at all, because the mint was pretty poorly done. But, if it suits you, go ginger ale or lemonade. Maybe go with the quality product. Get a quality Canada Dry ginger ale, and then you'll be good to go on your derby day. But let's get into racing. That's what we came here for. That's why we're all up late studying this week and just dotting those I's, crossing those T's after a long derby trail season. Some of you might be new fans after watching the Netflix Race for the Crown. Welcome if you're new. On this show, we talk about the superfecta. We're about 0 for 7, maybe now. You know what? One of these years we're due. So this year I'm gonna do this is just gonna be a quick introduction to all the horses, and I'll do a separate episode later in the week for kind of the final bets and what the superfecta play will actually be. But right now I'm just going to go through, an early look at the 20 horses that are lining up on Saturday and just give you my thoughts on each as we look at them and get ready for the first Saturday in May. All right. So out of the one hole, Citizen Bull, Bob Baffert. Baffert's back. They kept him on the sidelines for a few years, and now he's got a few horses in here. Not the same type of horses we're used to out of the Baffert barn. But Citizen Bull's here. He's got speed. He's got some speed. He won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I mean, as a 2-year-old, solid horse. He hasn't faced the type of pace pressure he's going to get on Saturday. I'm probably not going to use him too heavily. Number 2 is Neo Kios. Not sure on the pronunciation. Another speed horse. You're going to see a pattern here. I think there's a lot of cheap speed signed up for this race. Speed horses that are going to run against other speed horses, and I don't know that they'll last. There's maybe 1 or 2 quality speed horses here that I really, really enjoy, but we got YouTube just playing on its own now. So Neo Kios, he is out of Florida, Saffie Joseph barn. Flavian Pratt's in the reins, holding the reins there on Saturday. He's got speed. That's about it. Hasn't finished in his last 2. Finished 3rd in both of those attempts. We'll see what happens Saturday. Final Gambit's pretty lightly raced. He's comes from the Jeff Ruby Stakes, which is what is it? Tapeta surface, I believe. Either way, it is maybe it's Tapeta. Anyways, it's not dirt, so it's artificial surface. Again, you just don't know. He ran well in that last race. It's Juddmonte, who is a powerhouse breeder owner. This horse will have to make a move forward, but I don't see why he can't. Maybe he's not this time of a tap it. Maybe more of a. He'll be okay down the road. Number 4 is Rodriguez, also a Baffert horse. He shipped him out to New York, where he won the Wood Memorial. In his races in California, it looks like he has a little bit of trouble when horses are to the outside of him. You saw jockeys kind of moving him towards the outside of the track. When he got to the Wood, he just went to the lead, didn't have to deal with other horses. He was fine, wired him. American Promise for the coach, Dwayne Lucas. This horse, like most Dwayne horses, he was run 10 times as a 2-year-old, maybe, which is a lot nowadays. But he won the Virginia Derby his last time out. He's just a huge horse. He's a son of Justify, who was also a big horse. So I worry about him being nimble enough, athletic enough, but when he gets into his own pace and rhythm, he can run. He can run a little bit. American Promise, he's, again, 30-1 on the morning line, so a long shot. Admire Daytona, he won the UAE Derby, a horse out of Japan. I'm going to toss. I don't know anything about him. Luxor Cafe. Now, this is an interesting Japanese horse. He is out of American Pharoah and More Than Ready mare. So he's totally American bred. and all he's done is win a couple stakes races and earned his way in. He'll be an interesting play. You just don't really know what you're going to get out of him. The 8 is Journalism. That's your favorite. Won the Santa Anita Derby, won the San Felipe, won the Los Alfuturity. He looks the part. Like, I'm not an expert in how a horse moves or horse flesh, but he's just a beautiful striding horse, like when you see him run. I don't have anything to knock on him. The only thing is, he might have to work out a little bit of a trip. He's coming from the 8 hole. He's going to be mid-pack, probably mid-pack. But I said cheap speed. Those guys will be easy to go by. There's nothing wrong with Journalism. The Maury Line favorite, probably be a heavy favorite. There's a lot of horses in here that I just have a lot of question marks about. Journalism is not one. Burnham Square is the 9 horse. He won the Bluegrass. Come from behind. He was closing into a very fast pace, so that race probably looks a little bit better to the eye than it does speed-wise on paper. I don't hate him. Don't hate him as a horse. There's going to be a lot of closers in here, and it's going to depend on the trip they get. When you get all these speed forces, pace collapses, and then for the closers, it's a matter of who gets the best trip, who has space, who's not dealing with traffic. If he gets a good trip, he's shown in the Bluegrass. He could get it done Saturday also. Grande, interesting horse from Todd Pletcher. Has only raced 3 times. One as a maiden, won an allowance race, and then he was second in that Wood Memorial to the Baffert Rodriguez. I said the Baffert horse went to the lead, never looked back. This horse came from behind a little bit. He was really bumped at the start, and he's more of a speed horse, so he could have been thrown off his game. Lightly raced. I'm going to use Grande, quite a bit, at least underneath. I think he's a horse that can move forward. Flying Mohawk, he comes out of that Jeff Ruby Stakes, the same one on the Tapeta that Final Gambit came out of. Final Gambit was way the best in that race. I don't think you need to look at Flying Mohawk too closely. East Avenue, that might be the one speed horse that I like. He, in that Bluegrass, that Burnham Square, got the pace collapse where he came through and won. East Avenue was the horse that was on the lead in that race, and he held on for second. So, there's something to be said about a horse that can set fractions like that early and has the guts to stick around. Two back, he has 2 bad races on the page. 2 back, the Risen Star. I really think he just needed a race off of that 100-day layoff. First race since November, and then that Breeders' Cup Juvenile, he stumbled very badly out of the gates and never really ran. Other than that, all he's done is wired. So he's a speed horse. We'll see what happens. But of the speed horses, he's the horse I like the best. The 13 is Publisher, who took 2nd in the Arkansas Derby, 4th in the Rebel, 7th in the Southwest. If you're not hearing any wins, that's because he's never won a race. He is raced in 7 races, and he's still a maiden. With that said, I think he's a talented horse. In a few of his races, he's had some trouble. This is the traffic I'm talking about. He comes from behind. He's run into traffic, had some bad luck. He's a horse for sure that I'm going to use underneath. Steve Asmussen's looking for his first Derby win. I don't know if he's the guy, but I think he'll be a strong contender, at least for underneath. 14 is Tiz-tastic. Speaking of Steve Asmussen, his 2 starters start 13th and 14th, right next to each other. Tiz-tastic won the Louisiana Derby. He is another closer who looked good closing and finishing in that race. I just didn't love his 2 races before that. didn't do a whole lot of running, especially in the Rebel. Rendered Judgment. This, from what I understand, is an owner's decision to run. Kenny McPeak, who won the Derby last year with Mystic Dan, is the trainer. And from what I have gathered, this was not his decision. It was an owner's decision. And I don't think this horse had a chance before, and I still don't. Cool Battle, 16. He has had some good finishes. I mean, he won the Rebel. He took third in the Arkansas Derby. Both those races had huge, fast paces. And he was the first horse in that mid-pack to make that first run. In the Rebel, he took advantage of it. In the Arkansas Derby, he went to make an advantage. He was still running pretty fast. They were going insanely fast in that race. So he kind of got caught up in that. But Sandman and Publisher, they finished ahead of him. Sandman is the 17, who we just talked about, who won the Arkansas Derby, that huge pace collapse. So he's been a horse that's been able to take advantage of those pace collapses in all of his races. They're on time form, pace figures, they're 150, 170, huge numbers. And he just has he is one of those horses that's agile enough, athletic enough, that can find those areas and make a move and get through a tight hole. And he's 6-1 on the morning line. Don't love that number, but I'd be surprised if he finishes outside the top 4. Sovereignty. Are there ever those words for you that you just, no matter how many times you read them, you just say them wrong every time? Like sovereignty. Every time I see it, it's sovereignty. Anyways, sovereignty. He has been racing in Florida, and he's been a horse that's come off the pace, finishes well. The numbers just really haven't been out there. Those are not the most competitive fields he's faced. Solid horse, 5-1. Belmont, Godolphin, great connections. He is going to be a main contender. Don't love him at the price. Chunk of Gold. This is, if you're looking for an underdog story, that's this guy. He was bought for $2,500 at auction, when these other horses go for 6 figures, sometimes $1 million. This was a 2000. This is a Honda Civic type purchase. And his trainer, Ethan West, I don't know who this guy is. He hasn't won a graded stakes this year. I don't know if he ever has. But cool horse, really cool horse. He'll be closing late, lightly raced. He's only had 2 dirt starts. Finished second in both of them though, so maybe he'll need to make a jump up. But that's definitely a horse I'd want to cheer for. And the 20, Owen Almighty. He's another speed horse, and he's coming from the outside. So that's one way that this fast pace is probably going to set up. When you have horses from the inside and outside, both converging and trying to get to the lead, that really heats things up on the front end. And then Baiza is a very lightly raced horse, Santa Anita. He didn't have the points to get in, so he's on the also eligible. If by Friday one of the other horses scratches, he will be running. And if he runs, I like him as a contender, but we'll see. So that is the horses, and that was wasn't that quick. We're at 20 minutes already. So if you stayed with me through all that, please join me again later this week, probably a Friday night. We want to look at some workout reports. We'll see if there's any scratches that might affect the race, and we'll take a look at who the next winner of the Kentucky Derby might be. as always, thank you and good luck. How do you turn this thing off? Power mode.